Hello everybody, so today I am here with a book review of Almost French by Sarah Turnbull. I love this book for so many different reasons, mostly because I can identify with it on a very deep level, having lived in France myself. A lot of her little stories and her little anecdotes that are in here are ones that I can identify with greatly and that I got a good laugh out of. I'm not sure if it would have the same effect on someone who hadn't lived in France, but I think that it's an enjoyable read anyway, particularly if you're a kind of Francophile. This book is very similar to Eat, Pray, Love in the sense that it's kind of that, journey into searching for what you want and for what you need, except I don't think it's as broad or as well written as Eat, Pray, Love, but Sarah Turnbull does have some beautiful observations about France and about French culture and about foreigners living and observing things in France that the French people can't really see. So this book is about an Australian, Sarah, the author. This book is autobiographical, and she moves to Paris to be with her whirlwind lover. I think in the book she describes it as a very sudden decision. She was travelling in Romania and met this French man and they fell in love, and then she just moved in with him. And she, I think she gets caught up with the glamour and, the beauty of Paris. But it's about her trying to adapt to a culture that is completely foreign and completely alien to her. They live in this beautiful little suburb called Levallois, but she feels restless and trapped in this place because she doesn't understand, and France is making her frustrated. This book is a 5-year journey of her life trying to become French and in the end realising that she's Australian. Why should she try and be French? It also covers a lot of things that I found perplexing in France, like what and when to eat and the sort of relationship between girls in France, which is quite a complicated one. She touches on the subject of food by hosting dinner parties that always end disastrously and people criticising her and what she wears. There's one situation in this book where she wears Doc Martens to a really fancy party because she thought it was going to be an actual party, but instead it was like a sort of cocktail French gathering. And she wears Doc Martens to this, and that is something that I can associate with. When I went to France, I wore Doc Martens to school because I thought they were cool. They were cool. But I went to a private school in France and all of the girls wore high heels and had Louis Vuitton handbags and Also, she touches on the subject of the relationship between women in France. I have a lot of really close French girlfriends and I love them all to bits, but quite often when I see women meeting each other for the first time or being in friend groups, it's often quite competitive and it's full of jealousy and highly charged energy that isn't always healthy. So I think I find it easier to get along with French men, and so does she, because they're quite easygoing. Another thing she touches on, which I found was really interesting, was the French legal system and how they sort of everything, your whole future is kind of subject to their mood that day. So if you need a visa and they don't feel like giving another visa, they won't. She really explores the complex country which is France, and I appreciate this novel so much for that. I think it's beautiful and it's a really intuitive exploration. It's mostly about Paris, and I think, in my opinion, every different region in France has a different sort of feel and a different vibe, but as an overall this is a really good book to read, especially if you're going on exchange to France and you don't know what to expect. This book will prepare you so much. I wish I had read it before I left. And it's also a book that you can sort of easily read. It's not difficult language. It'll make you laugh at some points. I laughed, and I think it's just a really nice, simple read.